making, the important themes of the economic survey. Okay, get a clarity, because it almost 119 days are left for your prelims. So these 119 days you should use properly for the learning basics part and everything. And coming to the things like coming to the focus, coming to the things like what are the main key policies announced in the budget? What is the tax, indirect tax collection rate? What is the direct tax collection rate? What are the new policies that should be focused? Okay, that is, I'm not going to, I'm not denying that they are important, but prepare yourself to understand the concept. For example, what who will prepare the budget in the finance ministry, which department is responsible for the preparing budget, and also try to get the idea his budget is really mentioned in the polity of Indian constitution. No, the budget word is not mentioned. So these things you should get a clarity. And apart from that, do focus more about the economic survey. Why economic survey is important? Economic survey is important on two aspects. Number one way you will get more clarity about the government functions through economic survey. Apart from that, the chapters which they will provide, that will become an important tool for answer writing for your the mains. So those who are preparing for mains seriously, they should focus about key suggestions. For example, you have economic survey 2016-17 suggested that the cases are rising in India. This pendency of cases, the rising of cases in India is seriously affecting the tax collection. Okay, so whatever I will suggest that if you are reading economic survey, read in a particular aspect that you should have clarity about the suggestions. For example, there is one more economic survey 2017-18 suggested that tax collection at the local governance, you can say the municipalities are very, very low compared to the other governments. So do more importance to economic survey, and which is very important also. I also request you that I will do one thing. I will send you the link, the summary of the economic survey, so that they will forward you. I will forward to the concerned people. I think it is Rakesh, I guess. I will send to Mr. Rakesh, then they will forward you, or else people whoever in my touch, whoever in my touch in the sense, whoever in contact with me through mail, I will also forward the link to their personal mail ID. Okay? Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Kaushal. Anything else you can discuss? Any other queries before going to start the session? It is Abul. Abul is not come, I guess. Abul is not there. So those who are familiar to me, you can start speaking something, because I'm not getting any response. Kaushal, we discuss something. Where is my PSIR student? Saraswati or Swati? I think Swati. Swati? It's not Swati. Saraswati. I don't know. I remember Swati. I don't know Swati anymore.
Yes, sir.
So, my dear PSIR, I think it's Swati, right?
Yes, sir. It's me.
Okay, how is the preparation, my dear?
Yes, sir. Everything is getting so complicated.
Why it is so complicated?
All the studies are taking place at once, no? So that's why, sir. All the GS papers, optionals,
Okay, no issue.
everything is going all together. So that is the biggest reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't take too much stress. Okay. So you should find synergy. For example, you have GS, right? You will find synergy with Indian Constitution, and your paper 1B of political science is almost same, but you will learn in a different manner. Then the paper 2B is also similar with the JS2 international relations. You can also good time. Then you have Western political thinkers, Indian political thinkers, you will have synergy with ethics. You can learn. Then Indian governance in 1B, that will be synergized with the governance part in the paper 2. So paper 2 is almost done for political science students. No need to give too much importance for the paper 2, because if they focus too much on the political science paper, they will play hockey and cricket and kabaddi in the same ground with GS2. Okay. For those who are history optionals, they will play game with the some sections of the GS1. If they choose, let us say, geography, they will play a game with the GS1 of the paper. So there are some synergies. In fact, don't feel that manner. Second thing is, if you are seriously giving attempt for this year, I mean 2023, so I request you give pretty importance to the prelims part. So whatever subjects, to everyone, whoever writing the exam, not only Swati, so who are preparing to give attempt in this attempt this year, and I request you people, start your day, focus on the GS part, the subjects which covered by faculty, respective faculty. Pick a date. Let us say today you should give importance to ancient India. Then read about Indus Valley civilization. Its key features. For example, have a map of Mohenjo-daro. There you will find Great Bath. Then you will find Pashupati. Then Pashupati includes, on the left side of Pashupati you will have elephant and tiger. On the right you have rhinos and buffalo. And the down you have antelopes. Then go through the other cities. Go to Lothal. Go to Dolovera. What you will find there? Key the important factors. What is the trade? And what Mesopotamians called the Indus Valley civilized people, Meluha. Key features. Again, if you are going to the polity, then if you're reading polity today, we are having budget sessions. Then go through the bill making process, budget process, what are grants, what are vote on grants, what are the different types of measures in it. Then let us say go to the definitions of what is privilege motion, what is censor motion, what is adjournment motion, complete them along with the current issues. Then geography, go for the landforms. So where you will find moraines, where you will find all these things. So basic, I want to convey. I'm not saying that you should read like this. I want to convey that you should read in a specific manner, that you should remember a lot. This is the time to remember. So remembering, analyzing, it should be habit for you from next 119 days. That is one thing. Second thing. So this week I will discuss in brief about modern history. Okay. Next week I will talk about one more subject where you will get clarity about preparation style of prelims. So how many of you are writing for prelims next year? Just so that I can believe that you can write or not. I can discuss or not. I will discuss. I will write. I will discuss how many of you are writing this year prelims. जो लोग अभी इस साल पर यूपीएससी अटेम्प्ट दे रहा है, just raise your hands. Then I will get a clarity. So whoever just thinking to give the attempt, of course, if you're not decided, also not an issue. If you're thinking, just give me the Congress symbol, Bharat Jodo. Okay, हो गया Bharat Jodo. Kaustav, are you there?
यस सर.
हाँ, खत्म हो गया भारत जोड़ो.
हाँ सर, आपका दाढ़ी भी निकल गया.
So हो गया ना काम. राहुल भाई ने उधर गया. So सब कुछ हो गया. Not like that. Say the bad habit in my is I'm reading. If I start a book, if I complete, so I won't share until I complete a book. So recently I started a book called as Bhishma the Enigma. So I finished it. So I done with that. Okay. So that is the only thing. Okay, I got some Bharat Jodo supporters here. I got here Joey. Namaskar, Joey. I hope everything is fine there. Then Kaustav, I spoke with you right now. Kaushal and Shekhar and Swati. Hi, Shekhar.
Hi, sir.
Shekhar, what's your optional?
You so till now, like continuing with maths, but I thought of changing, but still like figuring out. Till now, I'm
What I,
like
what I understood is you are choosing mathematics. You are about to change to something else. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, really.
Ah,
Because
okay.
everywhere, yeah,
Okay,
smart
Shekhar.
means
I will talk to you later regarding that part. Okay.
okay, sure.
Anyway, so coming to you people, even for others people also. Today I'm discussing about prelims orientation of prelims orientation of just a second. Prelims orientation of modern history. Okay, just a second. Hope you are able to see the screen.
Yes, sir.
I think it went away now. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Listen, ma. So the most beautiful thing here is in civil service examination, modern history will play a very critical role. See here, modern history can be asked in several manners. So here I would like to tell you this modern history can be divided into certain parts. For example, 1707. So 1717, the issue of Farman, and 1708, the arrival of Britishers. So this is somewhat very interesting, but there are some stages in reading here. So first and foremost thing you should focus about arrival of Europeans, arrival of Portuguese, Dutch, arrival of these people called as France people, of course, Danes, then British. So then you should also focus about European people conflicts here, European conflicts within India. Then do give importance to the Anglo Anglo Bengal War, Anglo Mysore War, Anglo Marathas War, Anglo Sikh Wars, of course, even Carnatic Wars, that is, European conflicts will cover it, even British and France wars. And after Anglo Sikh Wars, you should also focus about Anglo Burmese War, Anglo Nepalese War. All these things should be covered in a briefed manner. Don't focus about how many people died, so how many horses died, whether horses drink wine or whether they drink it something else. No need to focus that aspects. Focus about, yes, if possible, treaties. That's enough. Now, second important thing is that is after 1757, that is Battle of Plassey, and after 1765, you should give more priority to British. So this is somewhat important here. Then the next important thing you should focus here is that is 1773 Regulation Act. Of course, you hear Treaty of Allahabad and its importance of Diwani rights to the people of British. That is a separate story, but Regulation Act is important. Here, I suggest you each and everyone should use Lakshmikant constitutional background chapter for comprehensive revision. So constitution background chapter should help you in Lakshmikant. Constitutional background should help you in reading this history also. For example, 1784 Pitts Act, then 1813, so 1794 one more act is there. Then you have 1813 Charter Act, then 1833 Charter Act, then 1853 Charter Act. The idea of Charter Act is every 20 years it will change. So then everything you should focus apart from that 1853, the Lord Dalhousie. So here doctrine of lapse. Apart from that, other important doctrines should be focused. For example, subsidiary alliance should be focused. Then 1857, Sepoy Revolt. So you should cover all these developments at one phase. Okay. Then after 1857, that is up to 1909, again one more phase. That is Morley Minto reforms. Then 1909 to 1919. Here you should also focus about the important events happened in this space. 1905, Bengal partition. 1907, Surat split. Okay. Then 1909 to 1919. Here you should give importance to what happened during World War I, Rowlatt Act. Okay. Jallianwala Bagh incident, then Montego Chelmsford reforms, Hunter Commission, everything. Then in 1922, I mean, you have the entry of Gandhi here. So Gandhi should give some other important points. So Gandhi should give. So here again, Gandhi should give some other separate phase. Then Bose should give very critical role here because Bose is important for the present government. You should remember 23rd January is Parakram Divas. We will discuss that today, not an issue. So Bose should give an importance here. The issue of INA and then issue of RIN, Royal Indian Navy Mutiny, and then you should get the clarity over 1947 Indian Independence Act. Is it clear? So just I would like to tell you that. So here the most important thing is you should begin with the arrival of European. Then you should read about the entry of the people, where they came, how they settled, where they settled, and then you should start about European conflicts. Then focus about the British consolidation of power. Then give importance to the Regulations Act and other stuff of this issue. Okay. So this is what I can tell you. And apart from that, after 1857, what happened and what is the most important things. So this is one line of story. The second part should go Governor Generals, important INC sessions, persons involved in different movements should be important. Okay. So if you did a thorough revision in this manner, you will try to remember. Most important point of all these things is everyday practice previous year questions. Do give importance to the options. If you are not able to do that in yourself, you can find it in some of the faculty even helped that in explaining modern history questions in YouTube. Just watch their videos if possible. Okay. I hope you got some clarity over modern history. Can I believe like
Yes,
that?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So like that, I will go for the next one more subject. Which subject I can explain next in the next week? Which subject?
Sir,
Polity, sir.
science and quality.
I get polity is high, so I am having polity next week. Okay. Okay then.
Sir,
Sure.
also give some glimpses about science and technology sector as well.
Yes, sir.
Swati, ask in Bengali, then I will think about it. Request in Bengali. I think she's not asking. Okay then. I want that request in Bengali. Anyone?
After some time, sir, I'll let you know.
Okay then. So we are going to start the current issues happened in the last few weeks. So as a tradition for us, so I will deal some prelims topics and then one or two mains topics also. Okay, so we'll go for that. Okay, so the first and foremost topic which I am going to discuss. Again, I will start with 23rd January. 23rd January as Parakram Divas. 23rd January as Parakram Divas. Let's focus about these clear things. 23rd January is official holiday in some states like Odisha, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh. I think in Bengal also. I don't know clearly. Okay, so some states,
Yes, sir. There's a holiday.
yeah. So some states usually celebrate this day as a important day. But in 2021, Government of India recognized this importance of this day and they started to celebrate as Parakram Divas. The year is important. So it was the year of 124th birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose. And on that eve, Government of India decided to celebrate the day on which Subhash Chandra Bose born as a Parakram Divas. Here I would like to tell you some important events in the life of Subhash Chandra Bose. So I will discuss events happened in Subhash Chandra Bose's life plus the current issues. So what I will do is I will cover both the aspects. So primarily I will discuss about the current events. So what Government of India doing for the Subhash Chandra Bose? In 2018, Ross Island in Andaman Nicobar changed its name to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. In 2021, Neil Island and Havelock, Neil Island and Havelock Islands changed as Shahid and Swaraj. I repeat again. In 20, what are the current what was done by current government till now for the Netaji? First thing, in 2018, Ross Island changed into Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. Neil Island and Havelock Island in Andaman Nicobar changed into, the names were changed into Neil changed into Shahid and Havelock changed into Swaraj. Okay, so these names are important. If possible, try to locate it. Andaman Nicobar. So Andaman Nicobar, there is a channel here. Can anyone tell me which channel separates both? Andaman Nicobar is separated by which channel? Don't tell me any
10
part of.
degrees, sir. No, I guess 10 degrees.
Exactly, Kaushal. 10 degrees itself. Okay, 10 degrees. And this is what happened till now. But this year is very, very interesting for all of us. On the eve of Parakram Divas in 2023 and Jan 23rd, this year, for the first time ever in Indian history, Government of India decided to rename 21 21 islands of Andaman Nicobar after 21 Paramveer Chakra Award winners. So for the first time ever, 21 islands in Andaman Nicobar get renamed with the Paramveer Chakra Award winners. The most famous one person is Vikram Batra. I hope you are very famous person. Nowadays became very famous because of this beautiful song. Chup ki chup hai Raja, bole kaise Raja. Okay, I'm not sure about the exact song. Okay, so with that song he became very famous, I guess. So remember that person for a longer time. So not only he, there are some great people in that list. Okay, hope you will remember. So remember, please do remember this event. So what is the issue? The issue is Parakram Divas 2023. This year, Government of India decided to rename 21 uninhabited islands. Please remember that. It's not named, it is uninhabited. Just a second. So, uninhabited islands got renamed with these people. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hope you are clear with the current issues happening with the Subhash Chandra Bose name and his personality. फिर मैं बता रहा हूँ आप लोगों को
Yes.
Government of India decided to change to celebrate his birth anniversary as Parakram Divas. And from since then, it was started in 2021 on the eve of 124th birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose. Then we discussed about the current issues which are associated with the Subhash Chandra Bose. Now I'm going into the modern history. Modern history with respect to Bose. So Subhash Chandra Bose. What are the major events we should remember? We should recall. We should recollect with respect to Subhash Chandra Bose. चलो आगे बढ़ेंगे. Number one, he is ICS officer at that time. Okay, and he felt bad about his service, even though he's getting good salary, good respect in the government, but still unhappy. So he wrote a letter to Satish Chandra, one of his brother, that I'm not able to find happiness in my service. I would like to render my service to the nation by focusing in. Just a second. ఏమైంది రవి రవియేనా భవన్ చిన్న సెషన్ లో ఉన్నాను మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడతాను ఓకేనా కాల్ చేస్తాను నీకు ఇక్కడే ఉంటావుగా బ్రేక్ ఏమైనా తింటావా భవన్ ఏంటో వాట్ యు అండర్స్టాండ్ నౌ ఎనీథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ ద
Nothing,
ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ
sir.
దట్ ఈస్ ద
So
ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ
you were telling someone something.
Sir, you were calling Pawan. Pawan and Ravi.
శేఖర్ వెరీ గుడ్
Sir, those are your friends.
staff. I'm in my cabin. I mean, in my room, and
Okay.
he's calling for having something. I said, wait for some time.
Other day we thought like your child maybe.
My child, Enada Pavi. What nonsense you're talking? Do you think? Anyway, subject for correction, madam. Okay, there is no child. Okay. Showed me. You want me to suffer, Shekhar? You want me to end my happy days? You want me to go for a person who is in a requirement of Excel shirt? If he is having any small size shirt, he will suffer a lot inconvenience inside his body. So I believe so. The so-called marriage is similar thing. Inconveniences will rise. Explore explore the life and enjoy. That's it. I need to suffer, man. Okay. Maybe I'm going to create some problems, but anyway, let us focus here. Chalo, I had a very good responsibilities here. Let us focus in. I hope you are able to see the screen, my dears. Okay?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir, it's not visible.
It's not visible.
No, sir.
Tell me in Bengali then.
Sir, screen টা দেখা যাচ্ছে না.
Screen telaka. It's a something. I think you are scolding me.
No, sir.
Okay. Chalo. So he's ICS officer, as I told you. So he started to give his opinion to his brother. So his brother said, so his brother is somewhat not happy with his attitude, but anyway, His brother was convinced finally. And then we had the beautiful IAS officer, ICS officer came out from his service and started his fight for the nation. Now that brings an interesting element for us. So Bose came out from the service exactly during the time of this Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. So what you can recall is non-cooperation movement was announced in Nagpur session of Congress in 1920, and Gandhiji developed this so-called non-cooperation movement inspiring from his own book called as Hindu Swaraj. Hindu Swaraj. Okay. So Gandhiji launched this, and this movement is very critical because this movement doesn't see high participation of women. So not more women here. But anyway, non-cooperation movement was launched, and this movement was based on Satyam, Ahimsa. Kya hai Ahimsa? What is Ahimsa?
Non-violent.
Very good. So Satyam, Ahimsa, and finally you should have Satyagraha feelings in your mind. But finally it was stopped due to 1922, the incident, Chori Chora, and finally they was died. I mean, the movement was died. So this incident particularly changed the opinion of many people about Gandhiji and his tactics. So the suspension or the formal ending of the non-cooperation movement created a lot of debate among the congressmen at that time. So finally, he was part of the team Indian National Congress in this particular years. In 1921, he joined in Indian National Congress, and even he started to look closely, join closely with the Nehru at the time. Both are having some synergy because both were inspired by 1917 Russian Revolution at that time. So Russian Revolution inspired even both of the people. In fact, they are called as young socialist thinkers at that time. So Bose finally joined in Congress, and he was very much attracted to a person called as Chittaranjan Das, very famously called as C.R. Das. I should not discuss more about him. Now C.R. Das inspired him. He is a political guru for him. And finally, Bose became one of the strong leader in the Congress in the Kolkata regions and other regions. Now Bose even started to discuss with the congressman, and Bose even having more attraction toward the C.R. Das ideology. You should remember that at that time, C.R. Das, C.R. Das plus Motilal Nehru, they went on to create Congress.
The Swarajist Party.
Exactly, Socialist Party or Swaraj Party. So remember that name. But still, Bose continued with the Congress itself. Okay, Bose Congress itself, 1923. Within soon, he became the president of Indian Youth Congress. Indian Youth Congress. Okay, so he became the president of Indian Youth Congress. So Bose became the president of Indian Youth Congress. Next, he also started. A career as editor of a newspaper called as Swaraj. Sorry, a newspaper called as Forward. Newspaper called as Forward. So who started Forward? So Forward was established by C.R. Das itself. Don't confuse. Forward is not a part. Is not a paper of C.R. Das. Then what is the paper of Bose? So Bose has his own newspaper called as Swaraj. Okay. So Bose has his own newspaper called as Swaraj. That's it. Hello. హలో, ఏమైంది? చెప్పు, ఏమైంది? అర్జెంటా? అయ్యో, నేను చేయలేదు అసలు. సరే, నేను చిన్న మీటింగ్ మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను. బాయ్. So Bose started his own party, his own newspaper called as Swaraj, and he started editor as a forward. So this was one confusion question asked in Andhra Pradesh Service Commission exam, not your exam, okay? So it was asked that they just interchange it. So people started to confuse because forward, if you see the forward, it Bose started a party called as Forward Black. So forward block and forward newspaper seems to be similar, and people will go for this option. No. So there is a high difference between the both. Hope my students will get a clarity about this. Hope you are clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So then both started actively became a good member in the party, and he also started his own activities here in a different manner. So moving further, Bose worked as a CEO of Kolkata Municipal Corporation, CEO of Municipal Corporation. Then later he became mayor also. So Bose in 1924 became the mayor of Kolkata Municipal Corporation, and he he also became he also became very active member. He involved in a protest in 1925 around that time, and he was arrested. He was kept in jail. And that when he kept in jail, when he kept in jail, he went to Mandalay jail, and there he got TB, tuberculosis. Okay, so this is the initial career of Bose, which was went to the jail in Myanmar, and in 1927 he was released, and finally again he was a part of 1927 he was released, and again he is part of INC meetings. Okay, so in this particular meeting he created one group of volunteers called as General Officer Commanding Congress Volunteers. You should remember this word because this volunteers formation in Bose's career helped him to reorganize INA. Okay, so he became a quite impressive person here in creating this. You may not remember it. No need to remember for a longer time also. But still, I can suggest you that if you are following Bose's life, so Bose's life you can understand. So it was having a similar events in his career. Now Bose created this particular a group of volunteers, and this group of volunteers was severely criticized by Gandhiji at that time. Okay, so he was not happy with this. Not happy with this.
सर गांधी जी ने सर्कस बोला था इसको.
So circus bola is correct, in fact. Okay, so all these things happened. So Bose became active player here. So here in 1928 it was created during the Kolkata session. So during the Kolkata session it was conducted, and finally Gandhiji even criticized it. Finally we have it. So then he had a secret love affair, and it was not to discuss here. So then he went to Europe for a travel, for interactions with the people. He met with the European leaders. There are records that he met Mussolini at that time. Okay, and then he also wrote a book. The book is Indian Struggle. Names are important. He wrote a book called Indian Struggle, which was banned by Britishers at that time, similar to the ban of Mein Kampf. So it was banned. Finally, Bose created to become the famous important player in the Congress. In 1938, he became the Congress president. He became the Congress president, and he believes that the ambition is going for the getting the freedom plus going to have the socialist regime like Stalin. Okay, So this is very contradiction to the Gandhi's beliefs, because Gandhi want freedom, but still he want Swaraj. Gandhiji's Swaraj is completely different from the other people. Gandhiji's Swaraj includes villages plus khadi industries, okay, and party-less democracy. So Gandhiji's Swaraj is never implemented and never achievable by any man in this country. Okay, so try to understand again. He became the president, and then he actively focused about two important goals in the Haripura session. In Haripura session, do you remember that? Finally, it was happened. So then we have a planning commission here. Planning commission with the chairperson of Jawaharlal Nehru, the close associated with him. It was also developed. So again, I'm telling you, he went to Europe and he met these people. Finally, he came back to here. 1938, he became the president of Congress, and there he focused about the two important goals. One is achieving freedom. हमको आजादी मिलना चाहिए, और आजादी के बाद हम क्या फोकस करना है कि हम सोशलिस्ट रिजीम को, okay, we have to focus on the socialist government. Then this somewhat not happy with the Gandhiji, and in 1939, when Congress aims to conduct elections as a part of their annual sessions, and in 1939 session, particularly in Tripuri session, don't confuse, it is not Tripura, okay, it is Jabalpur. So in Tripuri session near Jabalpur, the competition between Bose and Pattabhi Sitaramaya, a close associate of Gandhiji. In fact, people will say he is somewhat very important person. So Pattabhi Sitaramaya. Pattabhi Sitaramaya. You should remember that this person is a Congress president in 1948. Can you tell me who was the president of Congress in 1947, which was UPSC asked a previous question also? Yes, so any idea? Congress president 1947.
Sir, I'm not
Patel, sir.
sure. Is it Rajendra Prasad?
JB Kripalani. JB Kripalani. Can you tell me who is the first person introduced no confidence motion in Indian Parliament? He is the same person. First person who introduced no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha in 1963. Okay. So remember this person in 1947. So who became Congress president in 1948?
Pattabhi Sitaramaya.
Yeah, very good, Kaushal. Pattabhi Sitaramaya, do remember that. So here in 1939, Gandhiji put forward his candidate, and it is clear indication that people want Bose. In fact, it was the out of the party lines. South Indian people supported Bose like anything. Then, of course, Muslims also have a huge base. In fact, there was a research by one of the historian in India. He believes that if Bose was there, it is very difficult to go for partition, because Bose had a huge following throughout the Muslim community at that time. In fact, he is the first and foremost leader who prized the sacrifices of the Muslim community in that region. And of course, some of our most of the history books, even Bipin Chandra, even Spectrum, missed one important event led by Bose. And that movement, you should remember that movement, the name of the movement is called as Holwell movement. So this Howell movement is very, very important in 1940. So this movement was a agitation led by Gandhi, led by Bose. Okay, led by Bose. And what is this Howell movement is about? Any idea, my dear Bengali brothers?
No, sir.
Okay, no issue, I will tell you. So what is this Howell movement is about? So this Howell movement was constructed by Britishers, after the defeat of Siraj. Okay, so after the defeat of Siraj, it was constructed. Why it was constructed? It was constructed by Howell, a British officer, to commemorate people who died in black hole tragedy. So it includes the names of the people who died in the black hole tragedy. Hope you remember 1756, Siraj did this event, and after that you have the Battle of Plassey. So to commemorate the deaths of the people, the deceased people, जो लोग मर गया, I mean, in this event, black hole tragedy, those people names were included in this Howell monument. So the movement led by Subhash Chandra Bose in 1940 is to destroy this monument. And in this launch of the movement, Subhash Chandra Bose clearly stated that this type of monuments are nothing but derogating or humiliating Indian kings. So let us destroy it. This movement includes Muslims and Hindus. Remember, 1940 is the same time when Muslim League is expanding their bases in India. Muslim League that he both Muslims and Hindus. So that is somewhat very interesting about both ideology and both capability of uniting India. That's the reason I told you that. Um, that's the reason I told you that he is the first person who clearly understood the idea of uniting both the people, and he always suggested the congressmen to involve Muslims at the greater level so that they can avoid any kind of partition sentiments in India. Obviously, Congress never listened to anyone except Gandhi. So obviously we missed that element. So that's the reason, as one historian said, if Bose was alive, partition is very difficult. In fact, Bose also wrote in Indian Struggle book, as I told you, Indian Struggle, the book written by Bose itself. He is not happy with the two people, one Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and even Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So he believed that both will have in certain points. So that is not also correct. Finally, Bose was did all these things, and Bose found that he is not happy with the Congress and his Congress ideology. So he decided to go for the war as opportunity to go for the independence. Finally, he himself dressed as a Pashtun person, and he crossed to Afghanistan, and he went to Germany. So before that, he established a party called as All India Forward Bloc. All India Forward Bloc. Okay, and this party became very popular at that time. So finally, he went to Germany, and in Germany, he even established an army. Okay, called as Indian Legion. Then Germany changed its stand, so they went away, and finally, Indian Legion was disbanded, and then Bose felt very happy, very unhappy with that Hitler attitude in the war. Later, he went to Japan. Okay, so here in Japan, he put forward he came to know about one idea called as Indian National Army, not his own army. Please do remember that Indian National Army was established by Indian National Army was established by so-called the person called as Mohan Singh. Called as Mohan Singh. Of course, even that was by the Army General Fuziwara Kikan. I'm not sure about his. That question will come because it's very difficult to answer if, unless you are a historian interesting. So Mohan Singh, then it is controlled by Raj Bihari Ghosh. Sorry, Raj Bihari Bose, and then it came to Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so Raj Bihari Bose, so Raj Bihari Bose, and then Subhash Chandra Bose. Both people are somewhat names are similar, but both are different. Okay, so INA was established by Mohan Singh. Then it was passed to Raj Bihari Bose, and then it is goes to here Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so this is what happened in the time, and finally we have INA, and here Bose gave a speech in a radio called as Azad Hind Radio, and where he called Mahatma Gandhi as a father of nation. So this is the first interesting question: who called Mahatma Gandhi as a father of nation? Bose. INA created three different bands. One is Mahatma Gandhi Regiment, one is Nehru Regiment, one is Jhansi Lakshmi Regiment. Okay, so he gave this famous speech in Burma in radio where he used the word Jai Hind and Delhi Chalo. It was also stated that he tuned the national anthem Janagana Mana. Okay, and that's the most important phases. And finally, we have the death of the. He even liberated Andaman Nicobar. He established Azad Fau's government. Finally, during the time of Manipur battle, they were defeated. Japan was surrendered, and later INA was disbanded because of his death. Whether he was died or not, he was died in Formosa crash. That's it. Formosa today called as Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Very good. So just see all these developments here. So we began with Bose, non-cooperation movement entry, Nehruji, and then Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das Association. Then forward, written a book called as Indian Struggle, and he met these people, and he's the president of Congress. At Haripura session, he wanted to get freedom with socialist regime. Then he lost. He resigned from Congress in Tripuri session in Jabalpur, and finally Bose led a famous movement called as Holwell movement. Holwell movement was developed by Holwell, officer in British company, a British government, and which commemorates the moment of Black Hole tragedy. And then Pashtun, he went to Germany. There he started an organization called his Indian League. He left that. Then he went to Japan, and Japan, there he got a call about INA. INA was established by Mohan Singh. Then it passed to Raj Bihari Bose. Then it passed to Subhash Chandra Bose. He used the word Jai Hind. He used the word Delhi Chalo. And finally, you have the things. Of course, this was not the end of the story. You have to see that he also met a person called as Attlee at that time. And this Attlee is the leader of the Labour Party. And this Attlee is the Prime Minister of India in 1947. Prime Minister of British in 1947. So I explained two important questions. One, who is the President of Congress in 1947? J.B. Kirpalani. Who is the President of British during 1947? Attlee. Okay? Do you remember all these things? Easy?
Sir, he formed general officer. What, sir?
He formed. Yeah, general officer
Yeah.
commanding. General officer commanding volunteers. Not very much important, Kaustav, but they are
Okay.
volunteers. Formation of volunteers is somewhat he has experience. That's the reason he is able to pull up more people to the Indian National Army. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Fine, fine, fine. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Even though if it is not clear, you have to say yes because of my sake. That's it. That is the
No,
most
sir.
important. That is the most difficult problem of a student. He will say yes for everything, even though faculty is not teaching well. Okay. Now, okay, then we will go for the next current affair issue. So this topic is somewhat important in prelims point of view. Please do focus more. Okay. Next, I'm explaining about a small issue. Okay, that is visit of UNZA president to India. So recently, United Nations Secretary General President came to India. Came to India as a guest to certain events. So I would like to tell you what is his name and
Sir,
bolo bhai sir.
sir, Kasaba Kurosi.
Hey, Kaushal, why are you scolding me?
No, sir, I'm not scolding you.
Galia mat dena bhai. Okay, I can understand I cannot understand the Bengali. Okay, so his name is, as our friend said, Kasaba Korosi. Kasaba Korosi is the one, and he is the 77th sessions president of UNGA. Kasaba Korosi, and he belongs to Hungary. What is the capital of Hungary?
Budapest.
मिल जाएगा आपको लड्डू. Okay, correct. Yeah. Now, if you read this, it is newspaper item and it is not current affair issue. But what is a current? I mean, it is current affair issue. But what is the core of us is what is UNGA? Now you should understand that United Nation organization established after San Francisco Agreement. San Francisco Agreement in 1945. At that time, it includes 4 policemen. And these 4 policemen are USA, United Kingdom, France, even USSR. And these 4 policemen started to meet in this place. And the president of USA, that is Roosevelt, gave this name of United Nations. Today, United Nations consists of 5 principal organs. Can anyone tell me the 5 principal organs? आप लोगों को मालूम है तो बताओ, or else I will try to explain it.
Sir, question ko sir, can you repeat the question, sir?
Yes, sir.
What are the 5 principal organs of United Nations organization?
Sir, Security Council, International Court of Justice,
Sir, General Assembly.
Okay. United Nations General Assembly. Next.
Sir, Security
International Court of
Council.
Justice.
Huh?
International Court of Justice.
Ah, International Court of Justice. आगे बोल.
Security Council, sir.
Security Council.
आगे बोल. Fourth one.
Sir,
Economic and
Economic Council.
Social Council. Last one. Secretary General.
General.
Not Secretary General, in fact, Secretariat.
Secretariat. Yes.
मिल जाएगा आपको 2 $100. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to explain what is UNGA. It consists of all the members. Right now there are 193 countries. The last country added was South Sudan. The last country added was South Sudan. Okay. So the last country added was South Sudan. Do remember that. And what is further important is, so this South Sudan, in fact, it is in news. I will tell you that also. And here, what I want to convey to you is, so in the year 2001, South Sudan was added as a 193 country. And every year they will do meetings here in UNGA, New York. Now, United Nations Secretary Council will consist of 15 countries, in which 5 are permanent and 10 are non-permanent. Please do remember that these non-permanent countries represents areas. For example, you have from Africa, there will be 3 countries. From Asia, there will be 2 countries. From Asia, there will be 2 countries. From Latin America, there will be 2 countries. There will be 2 countries. From Western Europe, there will be 2 countries. How many now? And Eastern Europe, there will be 1 country. Hope it is 10. Is it clear? So what do you call 10 in Bengali?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
What do you call Bengali? 10 in Bengali. Thus in Bengali.
Sir, Dosh.
Dosh. If you add
Yes,
something,
sir.
if you change the pronunciation, it became dosha. Okay. And dosha is somewhat a very interesting breakfast. Anyway, hope you're clear now.
Yes, sir.
So now that I want to confirm to you, now these regions should be remembered as per the order, and this should also remember for longer time. So this is the whole story of the person. So we have the current affair issue, that is visit of UNGA President Kasaba Koroshi, and this Kasaba Koroshi is a person who belongs to Hungary. Now, on that point, we came to know about the other fact, that is San Francisco Agreement and Roosevelt and his UNGA and UNSC. Now, this reminds me one more current affair issue. Whether I discussed with you or not, please confirm me. Have I discussed with you regarding United Nations Peacekeeping Force and All India Women Contingent?
Yes, sir.
We did which, right? Nama evarra? Bhavan? Okay. Am I clear? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think we discussed the South Sudan issue and the all women contingent team also. So very happy for that. And let us go to the next issue. Okay. So here, I think last week we discussed about the Governor General. I mean the Governor's speech where he went out and we discussed that. If I'm not wrong, am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag.
Okay, good. So I think we also discussed about Vande Bharat Express. Vande Bharat Express. I think we discussed it.
Yes, sir. We discussed.
Okay, then. So please note down that India, Japan recently conducted Veer Guardian exercise in Japan. Okay, Veer Guardian in 2023 in 2023 year in Japan. Please do remember that issue. Okay. Next, so one important issue happened in recent times is with respect to Indus Water Treaty. So India recently sent a notice to Pakistan for modification of Indus Water Treaty. Okay, so it will try to see the response from Pakistan. If it is not going to take in the appropriate manner, then India will take its step to the next step. But what is Indus Water Treaty is about? Any previous knowledge about Indus Water Treaty?
Sir,
Yes, sir. It
about the
was
water
signed in.
distribution. It's about the water distribution between India and Pakistan regarding the Indus water. India gets 20% and Pakistan gets 80%. It was done during the independence by Nehru. I know this much.
It's not independence, my dear. It is
It's
after
for yes,
independence.
sir. It was signed on 1960, sir, between India and Pakistan.
Who is the Pakistan Prime Minister?
Uh, I can't recall right now, sir.
Sir, Ayub
What's
Khan,
his name?
sir.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Okay.
Who is the Prime Minister of India?
Pandit Nehru, sir.
Nehru.
Okay. So what are the rivers controlled by India?
So
India.
all the eastern rivers, that is, except Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab, rest of Ravi, Bias, and Satluj are being controlled by India.
Enough. You will clear prelims. Whoever saying answer, they will clear prelims. Okay. So, so India has control over 20% of rivers, 20% of the water flow, and whereas Pakistan will have control of the 80% of the water flow. That should be remembered. Okay. So these are the western rivers where India is controlling, and the eastern rivers are controlled by Pakistan itself. And just remember the thing. Now, the treaty allows India to use these western flowing rivers for irrigation. So, for irrigation in a limited manner. Remember these lines. So, limited irrigation is allowed, whereas limited irrigation is allowed, whereas unlimited access for the non-consumption purpose. Non-consumption purpose. So, do focus here, my dear brothers and sisters. So, for irrigation, it is limited use. For non-consumption purpose, power generation, which are used for power generation, which are used for navigation, which are used for fishing, no limitation because water is not consumed here, right? For irrigation, you are going to canal will go towards the field will take the field will definitely take the water, so that is consumption. So there is limits for the consumption purpose. There are limits for the consumption purpose, but there is no limits for non-consumption purpose. And you should remember that the whole Indus Water Treaty was brokered by or the mediated by World Bank. World Bank. Hope you are recalling this. You should remember this uh, key aspects. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I had a question.
Take two questions, please. Yeah.
Sir, how do they divide the water like 20 and 80%? Because the river water can't be measured like that. So how is it done?
That's an interesting question, in fact. So it was done that based on the availability of data and based on the requirement of the population. So they just divided in one manner. Second important thing is World Bank documents clearly stated that even though it is 20% of the water controlled by India, but it is very significant with respect to India's population. So the ideal situation is coming to satisfy the needs of the people, same time meeting the demands of the people in the other country. So for your question, why 20%? I said that 20% of India's control is enough to satisfy our needs, where it is difficult to hold the more water because of its danger or because of its problem. You should remember that the Indus Valley civilization was destroyed by the floods by this civilization because Mohenjo-daro consists 7 times, Kalimbangan recorded floods in 3 times. Remember these facts also. Clear?
So can you please
Sir,
repeat the
except
point?
Yes,
sir,
sir.
except this Pakistan don't have much rivers like India. Only Indus River.
No, the majority sections of the population and the rich cities in Pakistan is also dependent on this, in fact. So they need support of India and the rivers at a greater level. So 20% is somewhat small in number, but it is enough for us to meet our demands. 80% is high, but still they are facing issues. For example, recently they witnessed floods. Of course, in some parts of the Pakistan is witnessing drought. So that is what is very interesting. But what I want to convey to you is the idea of floods. The idea of in this water treaty is to have somewhat coordination in sharing the rivers and also to have coordination in maintaining the river flows. Okay. And here I would like to add one more point before going for the next topic. That is, as you know, the Bias River and Sutlej, the average flow is around 41 billions, 41 billion million acres per feet. Okay. At the same time, it is for the Indus Chinab and Zeelam, it is around 99 billions. So that is somewhat high. Okay, but it is not too much important to go into the details, but still I can tell you, remember these values of 20 and 80, that is enough. Hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jai Hind. And there was a question when where it was signed. It was signed in the famous place called the Karachi. Remember this. It was signed in Karachi. Remember that. Okay. And have we discussed about New Zealand Prime Minister? Recent Prime Minister change here.
Yes, sir, you discussed.
Who is the new Prime Minister of New Zealand?
Yes, sir. You have.
Now, who is the new Prime Minister? I'm asking. So the new Prime Minister is Chris Hipkins. Chris Hipkins, and this Chris Hipkins belongs to Labour Party. And in fact, right now New Zealand is in emergency because of floods. Right now, New Zealand in emergency because of floods. Do you remember that? Okay. Okay. And Indian government recently launched Sagar Samrat. Sagar Samrat. What is Sagar Samrat is about? It is a rig. Rig means it's a unit which will help in digging the wells and everything. Okay. So it is a rig unit which will helpful in producing oil. In producing oil. Okay. So please to remember that Sagar Samrat is a rig unit. Nothing much is important in it. Just remember the name, that's enough. Okay. Which do remember, which is also reminding me one more small issue called as Mission Samudrayan. Mission Samudrayan. I repeat again, both are in news. Sagar Samrat is a rig for the oil production, whereas Mission Samudrayan is somewhat interesting and it is very different from the other things. So, what is Mission Samudrayan and what is explaining it? Okay, Mission Samudrayan is a mission of the government of India, and under Mission Samudrayan, government will deploy a vehicle called as Matsyayan. Matsyayan. Okay, government will deploy a mission called as Matsyayan 600, 6000. Matsyayan 6000. Please to remember, my dears, this kind of words are very important in understanding the issue. Okay, Matsyayan is 6000, and this Matsyayan will carry three persons. Three persons. Now, what these people will do, and this Samudrayan mission is to help exploration of resources. Exploration of resources. Is it clear? So they will do that exploration of resources under Samudrayan. So Samudrayan is to explore resources. It will be done by a mission vehicle called as Matsyayan 6000. The name itself, you should understand that three persons will go 6000 kilometers in search of minerals. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So Sagar
Sir, they'll
Samrat,
go under the sea, right?
they will go under the sea and they will have biryani and they will have chicken pakoda and everything. Okay. Hope they will share with you.
Yes, sir.
Hope they will share with you. Okay, Suki Baba. Now, this is Sagar Samrat is different from Mission Samudrayan. Don't confuse there and don't write it the same place. Now, in a last topic, I'm going to discuss one more small issue called as Bharat OS. Bharat Operating System. Bharat Operating System. And very much interesting topic. Bharat Operating System. Okay. So, what is this Bharat Operating System? Today, there are some operating systems. For example, we have one called as Android. The second one we have, that is your iOS. And today Bharat OS operating system is a indigenous mobile operating system. Indigenous mobile operating system. My dear friends, do more focus here because this is an Indian innovation and which is very interesting one. It was developed by IIT Madras. IIT Madras. IIT Madras. IIT Madras Parvartak Technology. Parvartak Technology Foundation and by a private company called as J and K Operations. J and K Operations. First and foremost one, the key features of it. The key features of it. Okay. And the first and foremost one is it has PAS. It has PAS. PAS stands for Private App Store Service. Private App Store Services. PAS system. And then the second important thing is the private app store services. Okay, it will try to maintain security and standards. Security and standards of organizations. So whichever organization is going to provide app, they should follow some standards. If you see Google Play Store, anyone can place the app provided if they follow certain regulations. So that is not the case with the Bharat OS. So they should have some standards in the organization. Okay. And they also had the second thing called as NDA, stands for No Default App. What do you mean by No Default App? That is within the handset. You mean, for example, if you buy Vivo, there will be default Facebook, default WhatsApp, default Instagram. So for some models, if you buy OnePlus, there will be some default apps. For example, Google Play Store is almost in every app. That is not the case with the Bharat iOS. So no default app in Bharat iOS, which means that no users permission is needed. Only allowed apps will be there. So no default app. So now no default app. Then we have Nota. Nota stands for native over the air. Means it will get the automatic updates. Automatic updates. Is it clear? Automatic updates will be there. Next, they will have privacy. They will have privacy. And there are confidential communications can be restricted. Okay, so confidential communications. Ray, Osnan Ray. Osnan undu. Confidential communications can be restricted. Okay, so this is Bharat OS. Is it clear? Every word is important because UPSC will definitely, if one such thing is important in science and technology in the last January month, this is Bharat OS only. So Bharat OS is very important, very famous development in all the last 1 month issues. So PAS, NDA, NOTA, privacy issues, and every word is important. Hope everything is clear to you as such. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my dears, with your permission, I will take leave for this session. and I'll try to see you in the next session. Okay.
Sir, I
Okay,
have a
sir.
question.
Please, Swati.
So under this topic, Indus Water Treaty, you have mentioned a point unlimited non-consumption.
Hmm.
And examples are power energy, fishing. So what about the fishing then? Because is it not part of consumption, or how does it getting measured?
No, consumption means water should be either level should be reduced. So if you go for fishing, I think you will find fishes, not water. That is, you won't consume water. Water will be same level. You will take the fish only. So the difference you have to understand, Swati, is if the water level is at 10, it should come to 9 for with your use. If it is not done, absolutely it is not consumption. So in fishing, if I am not wrong, you won't take any water. You will only focus about fishes only, right?
Okay, even for trading purposes as well.
Exactly. For example, you say a small boat is traveling. Boat will not drink water, I guess. Boat will take oil or diesel. So let us say if you are going for scuba diving or something else, absolutely you are not going to consume the water. So consumption is something which will reduce the resources. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, for this I will.
ओके सर। सर इंडिया के तरफ से अगर ज्यादा मछली पकड़ेंगे तो पाकिस्तान को ज्यादा पानी मिलेगा ना, लेकिन पानी पानी मछली खा
Milega. Okay. That's a good question, in fact. Okay. Finally, see you soon later. And can you give me any one more Bengali song so that I can sing? Okay. For today, I will give you one Telugu song. Who will prepare and
सर
come?
सर वन तेलुगु सॉन्ग सर।
Today, now.
यस सर यस सर।
Which hero you want?
सर वो नीनू लोकल वाला एक मूवी आया था ना,
हाँ.
तो सर एक कुड़ू एक गाना था सर, वो सर।
Arey, he's the Nani. Okay.
कीर्ति सुरेश था सर, कीर्ति सुरेश थी।
His name is Nani. Okay.
या सर।
Okay. I will sing a song for that. హరిరే ఎక్కడ 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 నా ప్రాణం ఈ ప్రశ్నకు నువ్వేలే సమాధానం అరెరే ఎప్పుడు 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 నీతో నా పయనం ఈ ప్రశ్నకు బదులేగా ఈ నిమిషం మాటల్నే మరిచి సంతోషం పట్టేలా మారిందే ప్రతి క్షణము. That's it.
थैंक यू सर।
It's okay. Anyway, prepare one Telugu song and come for the next class. Okay. Take care and see you soon. Bye bye. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Night.
Good day, sir.
Good night.